In this After Effects tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to create a smooth text animation that you see on the screen. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe so that you keep up with the upcoming tutorials. Let's go! Okay, so create a new composition with the settings, click OK, and select Text Tool, type in your text. And now I'll press Ctrl Alt Home to center the anchor point to the text, and then press Ctrl Home to center the text to the screen. And now the font I'm using for this is called Montserrat Bold. So I'm gonna select the text layer and then press Ctrl D to duplicate it. I press V to switch to Move tool, and then while clicking and holding Shift, I click and drag. I move this down like that, and then double click on it, change the text. So for this one, I'm gonna resize this. So select the text layer, and then I resize this. And then I change this from bold to medium, so it takes less attention. And then I switch to Move tool by pressing V, and then while holding Shift, I click and drag like that. And now we want to draw a rectangle, so we select Rectangle tool, and then make sure to set Fill to None, and then set Stroke to a solid color. And then give this a value of 25, and then you can, by going over here, we can give this a color that we want. You can choose your own color, and then we draw a rectangle like that. Make sure it covers the whole text. So I'm gonna move this down below, and then we are gonna draw another rectangle, but this time it will be inside of this one. But this time we change the stroke to None, and then we give this a fill color, change this to solid color, and then we draw a rectangle inside of it. And then I'm gonna select the layer and then press Enter to rename it. I'll call this Mask 1, and then Ctrl D to duplicate this. So this will be the second mask, and then we need to move this mask above the text layers. So mask 1 should be here, and then mask 2 should be up above. So now, if you don't see these options for track matte, then press F4 so that you will be able to see it. And then we are going to change the track matte to alpha matte for each of the text layers. So now we want to animate the text. We select the first one, shift page down to move by 10 frames, press P for position, set a keyframe on it at 10 frames, and then go to 1 second, 20 frames. Set another keyframe, and then go back to the beginning, and then we change the Y value of it. So we move this down, and when we move this down, we can see the text. It's because of the mask. And so yeah, we made this alpha matte. That was the plan, so we won't be able to see it here. And now we select the keyframes, press F9 to easy ease, and if your graph doesn't look like this, go to graph editor. If your graph doesn't look like this, right click and then check this one, edit speed graph, and then adjust the curves just like so. And then we move by another 10 frames, so shift page down, we move to 20 frames, and then we want to animate the second text just like that. So press P, set a keyframe on position, and now go to 2 seconds. Set another keyframe, go to the beginning, and then we move the Y position for the first one. So select the keyframes, press F9, and do the same adjustment to the curves. Let's see what we got so far. Looking fine. So now we want to animate the shape layer. We want to animate this rectangle. So we select the layer and then open the settings, go to add trim path to it, and then open the settings for trim path, go to 10 seconds, and then set a keyframe on start for it, and change this to 100, and go to 1 second 20 frames. So I set this to 99. I'll change this to 100. I set it to 99 by mistake. So go to 1 second 20 frames, and then I'll give this a value of 2. And then we want to animate the end point as well, so we go to the beginning and then set a keyframe on end, keep the value at 100, and then go to 1 second 20 frames, and then change this to 0. Select the keyframes, press F9, and adjust the curves. Just like that. Looking fine. Now we want to animate offset as well. So set a keyframe on offset, and then we are gonna move this into the middle, this little line, and then go to 3 seconds. We move this to the left now. So somewhere around here. And I forgot to change the color for this, so I go to title, select the text layer, and then by choosing this eyedropper tool, I select the yellow from here. So this one changes as well the color for this one. And now we are going to select the keyframes for offset as well. Press F9 and do the same adjustment into the curves. And now we are gonna press Ctrl A to select everything around here, and then close one of this, so every settings from this one closes, and then right click, go to new, create a null object, and we select everything except null object, and then parent. With this parent icon, we parent everything into the null, so when I animate the null object, everything else will animate. So we go to 3 seconds and then press P and set a keyframe on position. For null object, we want to move everything to the left, so we go back to 1 second 20 frames, and then set another keyframe for position and go to the last one. We want to make everything move to the left, so we move the X position for this to the left, like that. So as you can see, everything else moves. It's because I parented everything to the null object. So now we select the keyframes, press F9, and adjust the curves, just like we've done all the time. And that should be it for the animation. Thanks for watching.